These people were disappeared or killed during the dictatorship in Argentina. More than 40 years later, their loved ones are finally seeing justice done. EUGENIO TALBOT WRIGHT's father was one of them.
My father came and said goodbye to me and then went into hiding because he was a political activist. He told me, "I'm going to fight for your future and for the future of thousands of other children." I never saw him again.
Dozens of people gathered outside this courthouse in Buenos Aires to hear the sentences against 54 former members of security forces. Among them, Alfredo Astiz, known as the Angel of Death, who infiltrated human rights groups and had some of their members killed.
This is the third trial for the crimes committed in one clandestine detention center during the dictatorship, the Navy Mechanical School, and the tortures and killings that happened there. It is the largest trial of this kind in Argentina's history because it investigated human rights abuses against almost 800 people.
Labor union leaders, students, and activists were among those who were disappeared. Some were drugged from planes into the River Plate or the Atlantic Ocean. Those accused say they were fighting a war against the left. But people like BRASLAVSKY disagree. Her husband was tortured and disappeared at the Navy Mechanical School. He was a lawyer and a human rights activist.
I still don't know what they did to him. I'd like to be able to put a flower on his grave, but I can't because I don't know what they did to him. They don't speak. It's as if there is a pact of silence among them.
The trial lasted for 5 years, a period in which at least 11 of those accused passed away.
It was a very big trial, and the judiciary made it more difficult and handled it in a very slow way. In the meantime, not only those accused passed away, but also some of the relatives of the victims that were hoping to find justice.
Many of those on trial were sentenced to life in prison, and even though the verdict brings some closure, more than 40 years later, many still don't know what happened to their loved ones and hold out little hope of finding their remains. Teresa, Jazeera, Buenos Aires.